So UFC 316 is this weekend. I'm gonna make a full card prediction. First up, Yonel Asmus versus I don't know if I pronounced that name right, but I'm just gonna go with it. First is Quillen Salkill. I'm gonna go with Quillen Salkill because I just think he's the better fighter of the two, and he knocked out Anjo Dvalishvili, which is actually kind of impressive. Not really, because he's getting flatline back to back in his last two fights, so I don't know. But Quillen Salkill was pretty good on the regionals. He was the internal MMA champion at one point, so that's pretty impressive. While freaking Yonel wasn't that crazy. He beat freaking Trevor Peek, and that's pretty much it. And he beat Trevor Peek very boringly, and I didn't like the way he beat him because he just laid on him for the most part and held him against the cage. He literally robbed Trevor Peek, so that shall not be forgiven. So I'm going Quillen Salkill 2-1 decision, dominantly. Not too dominant, but just a good amount where like he clearly wins. So next up, Jerka Saragi versus Usain Yeo. I'm gonna go with Usain Yeo. At first I wanted to go with Jerka Saragi, but like he got knocked out by Anjo Dvalishvili, so that kind of showed me what type of level you are. Wow, like Usain Yeo is pretty decent and not that bad, but he is kind of experienced. But I'm just gonna go with him because if you're getting KO'd by Anjo Dvalishvili, it kind of shows me that you're not that good. So I'm gonna go with Usain Yeo, second round TKO. And next up, Ariane Lipsky versus Wayne Kong. I'm gonna go with Wayne Kong on this. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna pick Wayne Kong because she's the better fighter, clearly. Ariane Lipsky is 17-10. She is not that good. She's kind of a can. Not gonna be too disrespectful, but like she's not on the level of Wayne Kong. And I'm pretty comfortable that Wayne Kong could win any way she wants. So I'm gonna go first round knockout if Ariane Lipsky somehow survives second round TKO. Next up, Chaos Williams versus Andres Gustafsson. I'm gonna go with Chaos Williams, mostly because I watched back Gustafsson's fights and I'm not that impressed by him. Like, I don't even think Chaos Williams is that good, but like Gustafsson is not that great either. At least like Chaos Williams is at least like bottom feeder, like top 25-ish type fighter. While Andres Gustafsson, I don't even think he's that level. So I'm gonna go Chaos Williams by decision. I was gonna go first round TKO, but I might as well, right? Like, this fight is very low level, and I might as well just go Chaos Williams just because he's a UFC fighter and he can get the finish because this guy is a boom of a ting. So I think I'm going to go Chaos Williams by first round TKO. If he doesn't get the finish, it's kind of a wraps because it could be very, very boring fight. It won't be that boring, but like it's going to be one of those fights that's a filler fight that nobody really cares about. So, but moving on, Sergey Spivak versus Waldo Costa. I'm going to go with Sergey Spivak. I know Waldo Costa beat a lighter man skill in Ryan Spam, but Ryan Spam is trash, and I think Spivak would do the same. So I don't want to hear it. And also, Spivak is actually kind of underrated for a blob. He's not too blobish. He's in that in-betweener where like he's not in the blob, but like he's not in the athletic heavyweights, but he's there. He's in that in-betweener. So yeah, that's pretty much all I need because Costa is the blob while Spivak is not. And also, Waldo Costa had a close fight with Chase Sherman and Jared Vanderaa where he lost against Jared Vanderaa. So that's not a good look because Spivak will run through these guys very easily. So I'm going to go Spivak by decision. Very boringly, by the way. It's going to be a very boring fight. Not that interesting, but Spivak will win. And he might get a finish in there. If it's in the first two rounds, he might get it. But I think it's going to be a decision. Now moving on to the next one. Wow, this one's going to be quick. Azamat Murzakanov versus Brendan Rodero. I'm going to go with Azamat Murzakanov because Brendan Rodero is actually very chinny. So I'm going to go with Azamat Murzakanov to knock him out in the first two rounds. And I think that's a very easy prediction there. Now moving on to the next one. Bruno Silva versus Joshua Van. I'm going to go with Joshua Van on this one. Mostly because I just think Joshua Van is a way better fighter than Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva is very mid. He got dominated by Minnow Cap, which is not that bad. But like most flyweights, if you're good, you're putting up a fight against Minnow Cap before you get finished. He didn't even do that. So I'm going to go with Joshua Van to dominate him pretty much. Not too dominant, but he'll clearly win the fight and he will school him a little bit. So I'm going to go with Joshua Van by decision. Now moving on to the main card. Kevin Holland versus Vicente Luque. I'm going to go with Kevin Holland. I was going to go with Luque, but like Luque has taken a lot of damage and he also has went to war with like Brian Barbereno and like Mike Perry. So he is willing to brawl, and I think like if you're going to brawl with Kevin Holland, you might get caught and put to sleep, especially when like Luque is not as durable as he used to be. And that is very clear. I know he saw Garimbo, but Garimbo's not that good, and I think Holland would finish him in the first two. So I'm going to go with Kevin Holland finishing Vicente Luque. Luque has taken a lot of damage, and Prime Luque would never give up in a fight ever in his career, and he did against Buckley. And you want to know why? Because he was coming off a brain injury 3 fights ago against Jeff Neal. So it's kind of hard to bet on Luque, especially when he's known to taking a lot of damage, and Holland's a power puncher that hits really hard. Even Jeff Neal said he's the hardest hitter he he ever faced. So I'm just saying he's gonna finish Vicente Luque in this fight, mostly because Luque has taken a lot of damage. So now moving on to the next one, Mario Batista versus Patchy Mix. I'm going to go with Patchy Mix on this one. I don't think Mario Batista is all that, especially we found out Aldo is completely washed and it's kind of a bad look to almost lose to a Raisin Aldo. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Patchy Mix. He's a former Bellator champion. That's something. I always thought he was around top 10 level anyway, so I think he will do well, and I think he will beat Mario Batista by decision. Now moving on, Kevin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer on this. Joe Pyfer's a big dude. Kevin Gastelum is known to have struggle with big middleweights. Like, he got subbed by Hermanson in a round because of the size difference. It's kind of crazy that Izzy went life and debt with Kevin Gastelum in hindsight, isn't it? Because like Kevin Gastelum arguably lost to D-Rod with like a 10-pound weight disadvantage, and like he went life and debt with him. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Izzy was on the juice or something. I'm not gonna discredit Izzy, but like, it is insane. It kind of makes you believe maybe he was on the juice, or the chin is unbreakable. It's probably that. That's also something I wanted to say, because people were saying Joe Pyfer's gonna knock out Kevin Gastelum. I think that's a bad take. I think he's gonna sub Kevin Gastelum because it's the easiest path for victory. He's not the best submission defense. He got subbed by Neil Magny. He also got subbed by Sean Brady, who is also Joe Pyfer's friend. I'm just saying, it's an easy game plan, and you are best friend with a dude that subbed the dude very easily. I think he's gonna take the game plan from Sean Brady, sub him in the second round by arm triangle. But I don't think that's the whole fight. I think he's going to try to test out his striking first in the first round, and then he's going to realize, okay, I can't chin him. So in the second round, he changed the game plan, and then he's going to sub him. That's how I think the fight's going to go. Joe Pyfer by arm triangle, Kevin Gastelum, because he's a blob of a middleweight. So now, moving on to the co-main event, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. The real main event, we all know it. It's actually kind of crazy. This fight has more hype than the main event, but I think I'm going to go with Juliana Pena. I don't think Kayla Harrison is that. No, I'm just being different. I'm going to go with Kayla Harrison. I was going to go with Juliana Pena because I do think Kayla Harrison is massively overrated, and it showed in her last fight that she is trash on the feet. However, Juliana Pena didn't even win her last fight, and she is very mediocre on the feet. And she is kind of a guard puller, I'm not gonna lie. She doesn't pull guard often, but like, if you take her down and you sit right there, she's just gonna throw up submissions, and she's not gonna get right back up, and she's gonna get mauled basically by Kayla Harrison. I feel like Kayla Harrison is gonna ground and pound her a lot, and Juliana Pena is just gonna throw up submissions where nothing's gonna happen, and then like she just get pounded pretty much, and maybe even get subbed. Like, I don't even think that's a crazy take. Like, I don't believe in Juliana Pena at all. I really do think she is really mid, even on the ground. Like, if Kayla Harrison has like basic jiu-jitsu defense, she's gonna win this fight pretty clearly and pretty easily, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with Kayla Harrison by second round TKO. That's what I'm gonna go with. Now, moving on to the main event. This is a one I don't really know who to go with, because I was picking Marab this whole time, but like, after watching his interviews and watching Sean O'Malley edits, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of swinging to Sean O'Malley, but I don't really know what he could do to win against Marab. Like, I do think Marab's style is like kind of easy to read, and it's like, especially with Sean O'Malley, like if you give him another chance, I feel like he will find the shot. But like, I'm so worried that like that hip injury was just an excuse, and his takedown defense is really weak. So that's the worrisome right there. But I think I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot do it, bro. I've been feeling it. I was feeling it a lot last week, but like right now I'm not really feeling it. It's kind of like nothing there, so it's kind of worrisome. But I think I'm gonna go with it. I didn't go with the JDM one, and that's because I thought using logic would work. So I'm gonna go with unlogical picks. Then again, Sean O'Malley is not. Oh, I don't even know if this is gonna work now. But then again, JDM isn't an unlogical pick either. I was going with him like until we got to the last month. I'm like, oh, never mind, I can't pick JDM anymore. So I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley. Yeah, I'm having a feeling, kind of. It's better than nothing, bro. If I'm gonna go with somebody, I'm gonna go with the feeling now. Feeling is the best base for MMA. We all know this. Now, the way he's gonna do it, he's gonna KO him in the third round. I think I'm gonna go round 2, because if he goes to the third, I feel like he'll get melted. So I'm gonna go Sean O'Malley, second round KO for the main event prediction. I'm gonna go with that. Now, I'm very hopeful his takedown defense got better. And also, don't go first. I think that was a big issue. I think O'Malley had a lot of struggle because he went first. His boxing isn't as strong as I thought it was. after watching the Merab fight back. So I recommend being last. I think that's the best. But then again, he's gonna be too like looking for the big shot, and then like he just gets outlanded by Merab. So that's also a big thing. But like he was having more success when like he wasn't going first in the third. But then again, he was landing the bigger shots when he went first. I don't know what he could do really. I think he needs a mixture of things. He need to go first when he can, and also don't go first too often. I think that's also a big thing. You gotta have Merab like worried. Like I think that was a big issue that Sean O'Malley didn't have. Like he didn't like have Merab scared as he wanted to. He should have been on the back foot a little bit more. Don't go for him. Let him come to you. You have the footwork for a reason. That's the whole point of your game. Also, teeps are a big thing, but don't throw too many or you're gonna get timed. I think that's also a big thing he could use in this fight. Also, teeps are a big thing in this fight. It was working a lot in the first fight. He's very soft to the body. That's where you go for it. Don't go to it too often or you will get taken down. So yeah, I think that's what he has to do. He has to dance around him a lot more. Don't go forward too much. Go forward when you can. Teep when you can as well, and then like try to find the shot and then knock out Merab in the second round. That's how I see the fight is gonna go. That's what's gonna happen. Hopefully. I'm not that confident. I'm like 50% confident. 51. I'll put 51 in there just to unbalance it, I'm not that confident in this pick, but I'm gonna go with it because it's a decent underdog, and I feel like a lot of people are counting out Sean O'Malley a little bit too much. So I'm gonna go O'Malley second round TKO. Also, if he finds a shot and is early stoppage he's gonna get it. Just saying, early stoppage is there. He's not gonna get the Moraes treatment. I already said this before. I'm just saying this will happen. Ain't no way they're gonna let Merab recover that much. It's gonna be an early stoppage if that's the case, but like it's gonna be doable because he did go down on his face. So I'm just saying that's there. But that's pretty much it. This is a full card breakdown. I hope you liked the video, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.